When I change on you and talk a little bit about music, because music seems to have been a big thing has been a big thing at Swallowfield. Uncle Cecil, you have a beautiful voice, right? and you have been involved in music from before Swallow. Just give me your view, how it has developed over the years.
In the Chinese group, before we moved over the Chinese group days, we had a quintet, 5 men.
Yes.
And it didn't last too long, but eventually that turned out to be a quartet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we used to go to the country and the city churches to minister, to sing. My brother Eli was the evangelist, preaching, and sometimes Dave.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a quartet. We used to practice at Sackville Road, where we used to have a lot of the meetings, the Thursday night meetings.
Okay.
But then Dave came along and he had a choir going, but not consistently,
mm-hmm.
because of his love for music too, and his skill in directing choirs.
Right.
He was able to mobilize some people to form a choir.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then later on in the 70s, we formed the Omega Singers of male and female singers,
mm-hmm.
and that's where we started singing, and we went to different churches too. And every year we used to have, for several years in succession, we had we called Christmas
musicals. Yes.
Yeah.
Discovery.
Yeah, Discovery and Hope and
yeah.
Life, and
yeah.
it was great fun. Eleanor Lynn was the pianist and the director.
Yeah.
And I was the sort of manager, for the group.
Yeah. Who was in the original quartet? You remember?
Harry Leung, Leslie Lim Sang, myself, and Harry Chang,
mm-hmm.
and later on Harry Chin.
Okay.
Harry Chang was a full-time worker, married to my sister, but he went to Southfield to minister there, to serve the missionary in the Southfield Assembly.
Mm-hmm. Uncle Eli, you were the evangelist.
Yes.
Yes. How it came about. When Mr. Wiley left the meeting at Doncaster,
yes.
One night he asked me to speak. To be frank with you, myself, I would not have taken in the meeting at all because I know very little English.
Okay.
So I told him very little English, but he insists. So have a Chinese night.
Yeah.
And that sparked a Chinese man is preaching.
And that was you.
That was me.
Yes.
So from that time on, we have invitation to come to speak to different churches.
Yes.
So practical every week.
Wow.
We are out somewhere preaching.
So you'll be preaching, they'll be singing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. When you preached at Doncaster, about how many people were there that night?
According to the newspaper, there was 5,000.
5,000.
5,000 people, that says.
Wow. So tell me some of the places you would have gone to preach, Uncle Eli. Some of in Kingston, out of town.
Oh,
Uncle says, yeah.
We went a lot to Clarendon,
mm-hmm.
Brother White, from the Associated Gospel Assembly.
Right.
We went to, and also the brethren in Lionel Town, Longwood, Hayes, Salt River, Portland Cottage, Rocky Point,
wow.
and all those. Christiana. Eli, I didn't go into them, but he went as far as Montego Bay one time in a bus.
You normally go on a Sunday?
Yeah.
So tell me what a typical Sunday would look like, Uncle Eli. I mean, because I know you were still in the church, so what a typical Sunday would look like?
Morning, you attend the breaking of bread service.
Yes.
After the breaking of bread service in the Brethren Assembly, you have the Chinese mission.
That's at what time now?
12:30.
12:30 Chinese. So breaking the bread in the morning, Chinese mission.
And after that, we have lunch, prepare to go to country wherever we are, have asked to speak.
Yes.
So it usually used to be a very full Sunday.
Some of the people had Sunday school to teach at their churches. Like my wife Inez,
Yes.
she would have Maranatha at 3 o'clock and over by 4:30 and have to be off by 5 o'clock.
Wow.
Mm.
And then go to the country.
Yeah.
So what time you come home?
Oh, various
Various time.
10, 11, 12 o'clock.
And you go to work Monday morning.
Yes.
Lord, I give him
Strength.
strength.
A lot of strength.
Yeah.
One day when you preached at Riversdale, my father gave his life to the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he was very curious that Chinese could be preaching the gospel and singing. And that's how he got saved. Yeah, yeah. So how did you choose new leaders? What was involved in all of that?
We already had an executive committee
Right.
for the Chinese group.
Mm-hmm.
And when the church was about to be launched, we decided we have to have elders and deacons.
Right.
So we got together one day at Richard Mesado's house in Graham Heights
Mm-hmm.
and prayed about it and discussed it. And in the end, we decided who naturally had the giftings for elders.
Mm-hmm.
And it fell on 4 of us. Myself, Eli, who was already an elder at Maranatha,
Right.
and Henry Wong, also an elder at Bethany,
Mm-hmm.
Dave and myself.
Okay.
And the other 3 brethren, they were appointed as deacons.
That was Richard Mesado?
Richard Mesado, George Chinloy, and Harry Leong.
Earlier.
Mm.
Okay. Was Leslie Lim Sang involved as well?
Yes,
He
he was a deacon.
he was a deacon as well. Okay.
Mm.
When some of those folks migrated, or you would have had to change, there
Yeah,
would have
yeah.
been new leaders. Can you tell me what happened then? Give us an idea.
Again, we prayed and asked the Lord to show us who
Mm-hmm.
to ask to serve.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Dave Sang,
Mhm.
Charlie Royce, and then later on in life we asked you to come on,
Mm-hmm.
and later on Paul Henry.
And there was Lance and
Mm.
Frankie and others have come on.